Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Free Skate. My name is Ryan. It is nice to be with you again. And today is going to be our recap of Skate America 2022 from Norwood, Massachusetts. This event was a little bit better than I thought it would be. Obviously, let's start off with Ilya. Guys, his quad axle is like watching somebody's double axle. Like, he's just so good at it. And it's wild to think because so many people have tried it over and over and over and over again and just could not do it. Best skaters in the world, use your hand, you could not do it. There's quite a few other skaters who tried to do it. I know there were some Russian skaters who tried to do it. They could not do it. I'm not sure if anyone else has landed in practice before, but Ilya Malinin became the first one to land it in a competition a few weeks ago, and he's the first person in history to land the quadruple axel in a Grand Prix event. Congratulations to him. That is phenomenal. So, just a bit on scoring for a second. Ilya Malinin scored 16.61 points on one jump. His quad axle was worth 16.61 points. Absolutely insane. He did have a higher scoring element. It was a sequence, triple loop, triple axle sequence. I think it was 16.66, which is absolutely insane. I'm still having trouble believe that somebody scores almost 17 points off a single element. Just one. That's absolutely maddening. Just to note on the scoring for a second, you know what? Who had the highest scoring technical element in men actually was Kalmura. His quadruple toe, triple toe combination was the highest scoring of the whole event. I think that one was, let me look down at my notes here, 16 point, oh, I thought I had it written down, maybe I don't have it written down. Okay, but his was the highest scoring element, so it was over 16.61. I think it was 16.9 something. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's absolutely wild. And by the way, his quadruple toe, triple toe combo in the free skate was ridiculous. Like, it was the smoothest quadruple combo I've ever seen. Really, really good. So I'm gonna talk about a few other guys very quickly here. Daniel Grassel, he stresses me out when he jumps, you guys. His jump positions and techniques, like, I get worried every single time he's going to, like, just fly out of his jump and, like, land on his back or something like that. They look awkward lots. That also reflects in his GOEs as well. If you notice, his GOEs are quite a bit lower on complete jumps than other people, and they are constantly, like, in a range of, let's say, like, under a point GOE to maybe 1.5, 1.9 ish, where other people's are well over 2 and 3 sometimes. You won't really see that on Daniel's jumps very much because I think the judges don't particularly like his position in the air. It's not exactly pleasing to the eye. He's completed them and he's going to get the points from them, but his GOE with that style of jump is never going to be, like, super, super high. So I think that's a problem for him, especially in the free skate, where you have, let's say, a 2-point differential of each jump in a 7-jump free skate. You're leaving 14 to 20 points of GOE just on your jumps alone. That's a massive, massive margin. So that is how important a GOE is consistently on all your elements, because it can really, really, really make or break you in the scoring. Oh, that wine is fantastic. I made this wine, you guys. So, White Zinfandel. Oh, it's so good. Delicious. Junwon Cha, I wrote, he looks very good, very mature, great smooth skating. I believe he looks like he's ready to make a serious Olympic push for this cycle. He started off super good looking. He obviously wasn't perfect, but I mean, I find his maturity has really come full circle now. I think you're going to see a new skater out of him going forward. Not so he was a little bit inconsistent before, and you could tell some of his skating was still behind a little bit while he was making improvements still. But I think this year, I think he's really got it. I think we're going to see him do a lot of good things this year. I'm not too familiar about Kalmura. But what I did see of him, I thought he looked really good. He was actually the leader after the short program. We didn't, especially with Ilya's quad axle, I don't think we really expected him to stay in the first position unless Ilya really messed up. But you know what? He ended up having 4 planned quads, which is really good. And he's only 17 years old. I think his skating showcases that he's quite a bit more of a mature skater than a typical 17-year-old, especially a 17-year-old. We don't see, in some women we see 17-year-olds skating really maturely, but not always in men. I find the men take a lot longer to mature and really come into their art. A lot of the guys you see that are winning things, even Nathan Chen, like he's not 15 winning Olympics, right? You don't see many guys doing that. So I think Cal has something special in him, and I think he's going to make some waves. And again, you know what? Somebody that's gonna push to make that Japanese Olympic team, and there's so much competition in Japan for that, and he's up against it. There's so many good people that are skating out of Japan. That's crazy. Some notes that I made that were a little bit interesting. I found they were interesting. There were 4 downgraded jumps in the men and 7 under rotated or seven under rotated jumps, including individual jumps and combos. In the ladies, the stats were very similar. Again, 4 downgraded jumps, 9 UR jumps, including the individual jumps in the combinations. I think I want to keep track of that just to see the differences in the panels and if it's consistent with certain people. Well, we all know that people are prone to under rotations, but I also want to keep an eye on the judges, which judges are scoring them, if it's consistent with certain skaters. I kind of want to see a pattern here, because if I want to call out somebody, I'm going to know what I'm going to be calling out first. So let's go to the ladies. Kari Sakamoto, world champion, Olympic bronze medalist, absolutely stunning. She looks amazing. I love her edgy haircut. Brilliant music choices. Her Janet Jackson short program, it wasn't perfect at Skating America. She definitely had a few mistakes. Her jumps looked a little bit shaky on the landings, but her ability to respond to the nuances in the music is second to none, honestly. Not everyone can skate to that. She made an ice show performance into a competitive program flawlessly. Honestly, congratulations to her, because that is not easy to do. She hit every beat with something special, and I think the crowd really pulls into that, and you could really tell they really reacted to that. Both programs. Her free skate was phenomenal. She has so much power. I don't know if there's another woman out there that skates as powerful as her. And she is able to do the footwork with that power instead of just skating around really fast. She's able to do all the quirky choreographic moves and stuff like that that a lot of people miss out on when they skate with a lot of power. I don't know, she's one of my favorite skaters. Honestly, her gold medal was well deserved. She had 145 in the free skate, which is like super good. You're coming up to Russian ladies territory. Could you imagine her with like a quad or a triple axel? Honestly, that's absolutely wild. 15-year-old Isabel DeVito, again, 15 years old. 15 years old. She had 135 in the free skate. She is going to be someone to reckon with. I feel she's slightly overscored in certain areas. She's getting quality marks from the judges already at a very early age. I think she's got a lot to work into with her artistry. I think she's a little bit overscored with that. She ended up getting 206 overall, which is a fantastic score, especially for a 15-year-old. But I like the judges. They are leaving enough room for her to grow. So I can't complain too much. And you know what? I guess we'll see where she goes from here. It sounds like in her interview she's really mature. She's excited to handle the pressure. She just wants to experience it. She doesn't want to shy away from it. She doesn't sound scared of anything right now, and that's the attitude that you got to take into high pressure situations. Because you know what? She's going to be one of the favorites heading into U.S. Nationals this year to win the whole thing with the ladies, especially with Mariah Bell announcing that she is not skating anymore. And that also opens door for, Amber Glenn. 129 in the free skate. She did leave about, I would say, give or take 5 points on the table with her triple axel attempt. Really good to keep attempting those in competition so she can start nailing them down. She was, I think, it was under, I don't know if it was downgraded. I think it was under rotated. I could be wrong. I have to go check the score sheets again. And I love her answer at the end of the free skate. She's like, oh my God, can you imagine what I could do at my best? Yes, Amber. Imagine what you can do with your best. You got 129 and you weren't your best. You'd be, who knows, 135 plus? Awesome scores. Her music choice, again, really good. She showcases her strengths. The judges had her PCS under Isabeau's. I frankly would have had her higher than Isabeau. Amber seems a bit more refined with the smoothness combined with the power. She was under 3 points difference, so I probably would have had that reversed. I would have had Amber a little bit higher than Isabeau in that, but still, I think that the judging wasn't too bad. If all I'm complaining about is 3 points here or there, I mean, that's not the worst thing, right? We've seen a lot worse than that. And let's just mention Gracie Gould for a second. Welcome back, Gracie. You have done absolutely phenomenal. And girl, your triple Lutz triple toe combination is one of the best in the world right now. That was insane. Both programs, triple Lutz, triple toe, fantastic. She has come such a long way in the last 2 years. And she's showing that she's belonging back on the competitive stage on the world circuit. You know what? She's got a lot of work to do, I think, with her expressions. She looks like she is still hesitating a lot on certain things. You can really tell with Gracie's skating when she's in the moment giving her performance versus in the moment trying to think of what my technique is supposed to be going into certain things. You can see that hesitation. Her speed is okay-ish. I would like to see her push a little bit more. But over the last year or two, I think she has really come a long way, and she's just going to keep getting better. So it's going to be really interesting come Nationals time what level she's going to be at. And do you think it's entirely possible that she could potentially get on the podium at U.S. Nationals again? Her free skate, I know she wanted it back, and I know she wanted to do a little bit better, but honestly, I thought it was actually quite good. She did not bomb it. We've seen so many times in the last few years where she has had good skate here or two there, but she has not been consistent, and I think she's getting on the right path with that. So I want to see her by the end of the year and see where she's at. I'm very, very excited for her. I really hope she does really, really good. I think the judges are picking up on the hesitation and stuff like that. Her PCS scores are now around seven. They're between sevens and eights range. I think she needs to pull it up to the eights and nines range. Just under 110 in the free skate, 174 overall. So not a terrible score, but there's definitely a lot of room for Gracie to grow. And I think it's just going to be really interesting to see where she is going to be at the beginning of or at the end of the year. Now, before we get into ice dance, I just want to talk about something for a second. I cannot tell you how important this is. Music choices, music choices, music choices. Know what you are skating to. Don't choose something to skate to because you just like it. Choose something, yeah, because you like it, that's part of it, but you have to be able to do something with that music. There are so many times that I see skaters perform, and the whole program in my mind, I'm like, why are you skating to this? It's just as bad as that Russian pair team, Tarasov and Morozov, when they did that Candyman gong show. Why? I think that's actually, that specific program, I think, is probably the worst program I've ever seen. Like in terms of, well, actually, it's the best example in terms of music choices. That was astonishing that they were even allowed to skate to that. Like, who in their camp was like, yes, you guys need to skate to this, and the judges are gonna love it, and the crowd is gonna love it even more. Your skating style is perfect for this. Okay, like Isabel Brasseur and like Lloyd Eisler maybe could have pulled it off to that because they were wild. Not the Russian teams like that. I don't know. Anyways, music choices. You need good music choices. Kerry Sakamoto, Amber Glenn, fantastic music choices. They can hit those crescendos, the nuances in the music, pull you in. That is so important. That's a way to automatically pull up your PCS score. Automatically, because PCS, a lot of it is very subjective. You want to pull the judges in, you want to pull the people in, you want people to feel it. With a wrong choice of music, you've already lost them, and your scores are going to go down because of it. Anyways, ice dance. I personally think Caitlin Hawaii and Jean-Luc Baker maybe should have won the event. They lost by fractions of a point. Maddie and Evan looked okay. Okay. They definitely looked a little bit rusty. They were not perfect. They had a few mistakes. They lost some levels in a few places. They actually registered a 0 in the character step sequence, which actually the Canadians did too. Laura and Lagac, they had 2 strong performances and they won the bronze, but they actually had a few errors too, including the same error on that same element, the character step sequence. Now, I did consult Caitlin Weaver on this a little bit through Twitter, and I'm going to tell you what she said, but we are not 100% sure because we just didn't have confirmation on it. But Caitlin had told me that the character step sequence has to be within 5 feet from the boards at the beginning and the end, and they weren't. That's probably why it ended up being a 0 or an invalid element. That's something that's very, very fixable. You got to be in the moment. You got to know where you are. That's why figure skating is so difficult. There's so many, specifically in ice dance, there's so many little rules that you have to be very, very aware of on top of staying in your performance and making it look like you're in it when there's a million other things going in your mind. I can't stress to you enough or how difficult it is and how well trained you have to be to know everything and look like you're not thinking and just having fun. Because let me tell you, in their minds there's a billion things going on, and they make it look like they're just in the moment having fun. And the best trained, most awesomest, best athletes in the world will be able to skate and not think about it. And that's where you see the difference. You know when somebody's thinking and you know when somebody's not. Caitlin and Jean Luc's rhythm dance. I'm a little biased because I'm a huge I Love Lucy fan, but that was so cool to see somebody skate to Desi Arnaz music. For those of you who are unaware of I Love Lucy, it is probably the most famous sitcom on TV ever. It was in the 1950s with Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. Desi Arnaz is the Cuban husband who has his music and his nightclub, and that's some songs he sings on the show, and they skated to that. And so I actually shared it with, I shared that performance with an I Love Lucy fan group on Facebook, and everyone was gushing over it. They all absolutely loved it. I think last time I looked the other day, there was like 197 likes on it or something, and there's so many comments saying, "Oh my god, that is so cool." Little plug for you, Caitlin and Jean-Luc. Really, really good. And it's interesting because in the past I've really overlooked them. They've always been the third team for me. I didn't really get into their stuff much. I don't know if it's because there's been people retired and certain people aren't skating this year, partnerships dissolving, etc., etc. But they really, really took to me. Both programs this year, by far, I think, are the best they have ever done. And also their scores, too. Their scores are really getting up there. So the judges, I think, are finally agreeing. I find it really interesting that a team that's been around for so long and that I've known have been around for so long, I didn't pay attention to until now. And it was funny with the I Love Lucy thing. I was doing dishes and I saw, I was watching Skate America in the background, kind of, and I think unloading the dishwasher, so I wasn't looking at the TV, and I heard Desi's music come on. I dropped it and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I ran to the TV and I restarted the whole thing to look at the program. I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "That is Desi Arnaz." It's like, it's crazy. I've never seen anyone skate to that before. Super cool to see. So it was really, really close event. In the ice dance, the character step sequence, the character step sequence is 1.1 base value and GOE on the table. And ice dance, that's a massive margin, you guys. You might not think, oh, it's only 1.1, but with no jumps and no single elements to decipher people from, every single point is so important. So when you're leaving a 1.1 base value, that's automatically 1.1 plus the GOE on that. You could leave 4 points on the table. That is huge. And that actually really almost was the difference between them winning and getting silver. Their rhythm dance lead kept them in. It was 122.95 to 120.17 in the free dance. Which almost dissolved the entire lead, but didn't quite get it. Let's move on to pairs. So, I'm curious to see what you guys think of the pairs. Do you think that Maxime and Deanna should have won? 39 and 30 years old, coming to rival and almost beat the world champions in a Grand Prix event. I found that very intriguing. And good for Deanna and good for Maxime for skating two phenomenal performances. They, again, music choice, the best they have ever done. They really brought everyone into the program. A huge crowd reaction, both programs. I think the crowd was shocked / impressed at how good they were, because we haven't seen them from that before. And it's funny, they clearly meant to do the side-by-side double Salchows in the free skate. So did the American team, but it's interesting. I wonder what would have happened if it was a triple that both teams had done. Would that have been the difference in the whole event? Maybe if somebody fell, maybe the GOE. I'm not entirely sure. Essentially, they were tied in technical marks. Only .06 in the short program was the difference between that. But the PCS was a little bit different. It was 7.75 to 8.5 for the Canadians and 8.0 to 9.25 for the Americans. So there was a little bit of difference with the PCS. I don't know if there was that much difference for me. I found the Canadians programs more. They brought in the crowd a lot more. The Americans looked a little hesitant. They do have very smooth skating. They have really good skating skills. They're also too. I know Diana and Maxime lost a lot of levels. They only got level two and level. They only got two level fours, I think, in their free skate for their lifts and their other things. I think there was only, and I think they were level two and level twos and threes were the lifts and this death spiral, which was super creative. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do a death spiral like the Canadians did in that free skate, but I think they only got a level two for it. So I don't know what angle or how low she had to be, the man's position, etc. It was a little bit different. So they did lose quite a significant amount of base value points in all their level differences, and that absolutely would have been if they would have had all level fours, hands down the Canadians would have won. So there is a lot of work for the Canadians to do to bring up their score. Simply get a level four. That's what you need to worry about. If you maximize your level four, you nearly beat the American world champions with not all level fours. Granted, they weren't perfect either. However, that puts you in the hunt. You can easily be top 5, 6 in the world. And if the Russians are still out of the equation, out the worlds and stuff like that, I mean, like legit, like top 5 for sure. Um, I want to know what your favorite program was of the event. Let me know. Now, I also wanted to give a little plug to. There's a new ice dance team or new pairs team coming out of Canada. So we have there's two. Kellyanne Lauren and Lucas Ether were at the Grand Prix event this time. They ended up getting. Did they win bronze or something like that? I was really worried about the Canadian pairs scene last year. About what?
I said 8 o'clock. You said it's not going to take you long.
I'm on the video. This is not being edited. I can't edit it on here.
Well, that's stupid.
Jesse's back. Say hi, Jess.
No, I haven't ate yet. It's so late.
Well, me either.
Hurry up, keep talking.
Oh my god.
My Oilers scored.
Okay.
My voice is killing me. I'm being a B-word.
I hope you guys like this little interruption. Ask him where he is. Ask him why he doesn't want to join.
I got to work, B. Get to work, B.
Anyway, sorry. I lose my train of thought lots. I clearly need ADHD medication or something like that. Oh yeah, one thing about backtracking a second. Deanna's throw triple flip, her landing on it. Oh my god, that was some serious Megan DeHamel vibes coming out of her on that landing. I think she channeled her and was like, "Girl, I got you," because that landing had no business landing. I can't believe she even did that in the free skate. Anyways, okay, so the new Canadian team, Kellyanne Lauren and Lucas Ether, look really, really promising. I was super worried about the Canadian pairs outlook, but now that I have a little bit of an inside look at another team, again, a little bias because I actually train with them, but there is a junior team out of Canada that has made the junior Grand Prix final, and they're going to Italy. They were 5th in their second junior Grand Prix event, and they were silver medalists in their first junior Grand Prix event. Jonathan Elizarov and Ava Kemp. They are from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. They skate out of Skate Winnipeg. and they just got together 15 months ago now, 14 months ago, maybe it's just over a year. These were both single skaters that decided to try pairs, and it's been a match made. So they went from having no pairs levels to competing and medaling and qualifying for the junior Grand Prix final in just over a year. That is absolutely mind-boggling. They are on a path like I have not seen before. Ava is only 13 years old. Jonathan is 18 years old. And they make such a good pair. Seeing them train in person and watching them, I'm not surprised that they're at this level because go. I've seen them learning lifts to now they have put everything together and are skating their hearts out on the ice, and it is so impressive. If you guys haven't seen, go search Jonathan Elizarov and Ava Kemp from Canada. They have competed twice on the Junior Grand Prix circuit this year, and I think you're going to be very, very impressed. If they continue this trajectory in 4 years, honestly, who knows? They could very well make the Olympic team, like for sure. And I just want to send a congratulations out to them because that doesn't happen out of Manitoba very much. I don't even know the last Manitoba-based skater to even go compete internationally, to be honest with you. Maybe it's Lauren Flynn and Leif Gislason back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, out of Manitoba. I know they did a few things together and then their partnership dissolved. And they are, Jonathan and Ava are the 2022 novice national pairs champions. So they're going to be in junior this year. They could very well win the junior nationals as well. So that is it. That's all I have for today. And talking about Skate America and whatever else I blab on about. Smash the like button, share with your friends, share on Twitter. Please get this video out. Please get my channel out. And we're going to have a good season this year. It was really nice to do this again, you guys. I thoroughly enjoy coming on here doing it. It's just finding the time to do it is so tough for me. We're so busy. I don't know if a lot of you know, I actually am a director of a childcare center in Winnipeg, and so that takes up all of my days all the time, and I usually have work to do at home. And I also I don't live in Winnipeg. I commute so by the time I get home and stuff like that and make dinner, I mean, honestly, it's like a process. And even like if figure skating is on TV, I very rarely watch it live. I have to record it and I have to like sit down and actually find time to watch it when I actually have time. And if I'm not sleeping, it's mental. But thanks for sticking with me. Thank you for all the comments you guys post, and keeping my spirits bright. And I hope that all of you are doing really, really well. And I hope you enjoy this skating season as much as I'm going to do. I will be doing a Skate Canada video next week. So until then, peace out.